Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see you guys here for another exciting day of games. But today we're going to review some of the games from last night. We had a lot of big and exciting games to watch. We're going to start off with the Portugal Uzbekistan game. Portugal beating Uzbekistan 5-0. It was a very dominant performance from the Portugal team. I really enjoyed watching the some of the goals that were there. Ronaldo scoring 2 goals. Portugal also being very creative with their set pieces, with that first Nuno Mendes goal, and then almost scoring a goal with that Bruno Fernandes chip into Ronaldo. I think Portugal got a little bit more comfortable in this game. I think they had a little bit more confidence. Obviously, Ronaldo got his goals, which is big for him. I think most of the big name players have been performing. He had that rough first game. The second game, he did good. We'll see how he does against Colombia. Uzbekistan is a weaker team, and I would say it's the weakest team in the group, unfortunately. But it's good to see Portugal do what they can. I do believe they could have potentially scored a little bit more in that game. I think Uzbekistan, while they do have a couple good players, Portugal is a much, much better team. But a 5-0 win is still very big for them. I personally don't. I'm still not convinced that this team could go far. I don't know if they'll make it to semifinals or finals. It's just there's something about the team that just doesn't blend well. Whether it be Ronaldo sometimes being not being effective in those big games, whether it's the coach Martinez, who I really don't rate. I think he very much did not do the best with the golden generation Belgium had. I don't think he's the best coach for Portugal either. It is very confusing to me. I also think his decision making throughout the tournament, just with his Portugal team, has been interesting. He's stuck with Ronaldo, and I think that's how he's going to play for the rest of these games. He'll probably play the next game too, seeing that Portugal with this win still need to beat Colombia if they want to finish first, and I think they would. It would be in their interest because it would make their next round, the knockout round games, road a little bit easier than it currently is. Speaking on this team, the midfield is amazing. The defense is solid. The only downside is that you do have fullbacks that really like pushing up. You have two solid center backs, Viega, Ignacio, or Ruben Dias. In the midfield, you have João Neves, who's a great five in this team. Vitinha, who can pick out a pass, and then obviously Bruno Fernandes, who I think now in this current Portugal team is their best player. And then you have some PC wingers with Pedro Neto. João Felix played this game. He was okay, but obviously much better than Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva cannot run anymore, in my opinion, and I think he should. I think he would best play in that Bruno Fernandes role. I don't think he can be a winger on this team, not with the way they play, and not with the way Ronaldo's set up with his limited movement as well. Overall, good win from them. I'm excited to see how they'll progress. I still don't have them as one of my favorites, but still very convincing win and good for them. The next game of the day was England versus Ghana. That was a very big surprise to me. I yesterday had I got 3 out of 4 teams games right yesterday. I had Croatia winning, Colombia winning, Portugal winning, and I actually had England winning. England didn't disappoint me. They had a very good, convincing 4-2 win over Croatia. I thought they somehow could have beat Ghana with their low block, but I have to give credit to Ghana. They defensively played amazing. They really put it all out there. Even Semenyo with an amazing tackle during the game. But Ghana could have. I think Ghana could have also on a couple occasions felt hard done because I feel like the ref really didn't do the best job. There was a potential penalty that could have been given, and also Pickford coming out for the goal, coming out of goal and fouling the Ghana player. That could have easily been a yellow and should have been a free kick, in my opinion. He did not touch the ball, and I think he cleared out the Ghanaian player. So there was a lot of big missed calls, and England didn't look inspiring. Anthony Gordon and Madueke, they played very much how like they played during the season. They're just pacey wingers, skillful, but not a lot of creativity past that. And I don't think in this type of game where you have a very low defensive block of Ghana, you need pacey attackers. They're going to be set up very tight. They're going to have a lot of defenders on there. There's no space to run in behind. I think this game called for more creative players. And that kind of goes into a little bit of the team selection. You have people like Jordan Henderson that are on this team and other players that you look at and like these players aren't going to get a minute. But for some reason, they're on the team. If you had a Cole Palmer or Phil Foden, they could have unlocked something in this type of game where you really could needed to create something. And I think they'll face other teams that are going to be like this. Um, I would like to see how they do against Panama because Panama also defends pretty heavily. But the only difference is Panama does like to attack whenever they can, and they attack as a group. That'll create some space for England. So we'll see how that game goes. The biggest shock I think in this game too was there was one opportunity where Nico O'Reilly heads the ball, hits the crossbar, and the ball bounces right to Harry Kane, and Harry Kane skies it in front of goal. It was incredible to see. Wouldn't expect Harry Kane to do something like that, but this is football. Anything can happen. But a big miss for them. But overall, very good game to watch. Very hard fought. England definitely need to impress more. I had them as a favorite in my books, but seeing how they performed this game, I'm a little bit doubtful. I think they're still a semifinal team, um, but we got to impress in the next few games. The next game of the day was Panama Croatia. This was a messy game. I didn't think there was a lot of quality. I didn't think the game itself was very good overall. I did appreciate the passion that the players had. Panama really put it out there. A big shout out to the right midfielder Martinez from Panama. He was everywhere. He put everything out there. Um, I just think Panama didn't have enough quality, and that's the difference. Croatia did. Stanisic came in and provided the cross for Budimir's goal, and that cross was there was so much quality in it. It was such a good cross, and Budimir just had to tap it in. Easy 1-0 win. I do think if Panama had the quality, they had a lot of opportunities to really attack and go at Croatia, and I think they could have gotten a result. But unfortunately, there is a gulf in talent between the two teams. One thing to note: these are neither teams that are gonna make it far in the World Cup. I don't. Croatia isn't the same contender as they were in previous World Cups. Croatia definitely has aged. Their best players are Perisic, Modric, Kovacic, and all of them are old. They can't play the way they used to, and they can't get up and down the field. I think with some of the more physical teams or some of the better quality teams, they will suffer, and I think they will lose and get knocked out. Overall, good to see the game. And then we're off to the last and final game. This game was I was expecting a very big game here, and I got, for the first 25 minutes, I would say Colombia should have scored at least 2 to 3 goals. I think they were so unlucky and very, a little bit unclinical when it comes to being in front of goal. DR Congo's goalkeeper also made some excellent saves too. I have to give them credit as well. But Colombia really dominated, and then we had the hydration break, which some people have been commenting about is like kills the momentum for the team that's up ahead. It gives the other team a break. I do see the argument is like because Colombia after that hydration break they really settled down, but at the same time Colombia was never going to keep that pace of running around that high press, going after them for full 45 minutes, because then in the second half they wouldn't have, I'll be honest with you, I don't think they'd have the energy. James Rodriguez never plays a full 90 minutes. You have other players on that team that I think would be insanely exhausted, and they have a big game against Portugal later in the week. It wouldn't be really unwise to really kill themselves for this type of game. I do think the result is fair. I think Colombia definitely was the better team. DR Congo unfortunately could not get the tie. One thing to note that really interests me was Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz was offside, I think, 5 or 6 times this game, and he could have scored 2 amazing goals. There was the one that was a chip, fair. It was a foul on the DR Congo player, but then the other one was he got the offside where he cuts inside, beats 2 players, and then scores with his right foot. That should have been a goal. And the fact that he was offside so many times throughout the whole entirety of the game really disappoints me over the quality of player. And he's a player that is their star man. James Rodriguez is there too, but he is the man in form. He had an excellent season from Bayern Munich, and I think he should have scored. He needs to clean that up a little bit, especially with a team like Portugal. They have much better defenders and much more solid team, so you can miss out those opportunities against the bigger teams. Great goal from Munoz. He got very fortunate. They got deflected off the DR Congo player and into goal. I think the keeper wasn't expecting it. He was going to one side and they went down the other. Unfortunate, but it's crazy that out of all the opportunities they had, that one I was like, okay, that's going to be an easy goalkeeper save, and he scored that one. So Munoz scoring the majority of their goals in Colombia. While that is great to see, Munoz is a high-scoring right back for the Colombian team. It is a concern having your right back as your top scorer. You want your big name players, you want your strikers to perform, and Colombia does struggle with that. So I want to see how if Munoz can gum up like in the game against Portugal that they have upcoming. You have Nuno Mendes who's going to be pushing him. Munoz might not be able to come into those spaces. How the team react? James has not played exceptionally well. I think he did okay. He was trying to do something special, but if we take him out, the game becomes a little bit flat. Quintero tried to find a pass, and he did find that pass for the Munoz goal. But this team does have some concerns. I think this is still a quarterfinal team in Colombia, um, but they have some questions that need to be answered, and I think they need to figure it out if they want to go far in this World Cup. I know they have dreams too, and I'm rooting for them as a CONMEBOL team, but we'll have to wait and see. And I also want to say DR Congo did have a big opportunity. Vargas from the Colombian team did make a great save towards the end of the game, and DR Congo could have scored from that. It was a great save. And they did have an opportunity, but DR Congo now plays Uzbekistan. I think they should beat them if they play a little bit more offensive. I think they were a little bit shocked by how Colombia really dominated them in the first half and really tired them out. He got a little scrappy towards the end of the game too, but definitely definitely going to be an interesting game between them two. Same thing with Colombia, Portugal, an exciting game that's going to happen there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be looking at it. Colombia just needs a draw to finish in first. Portugal needs the win to finish in first. This is huge because whoever finishes second in this group would have to play essentially how it is right now: England, Spain, and I believe France throughout the next upcoming games on that side of the bracket, which would be an insanely difficult run and very unfortunate for whichever of the two teams has to go through that. While on the other side, you would have to play a much weaker Croatia team and then the winner of Belgium, Canada, as it stands right now. And then from there, you would play, I believe, I think an Argentina team and then an England team. So much easier route. At least you get to the quarterfinals pretty easily. But again, just football, nothing is given easily. Another big shout out to from Colombia is the young kid Puerta. He played exceptionally well. He displaced Richard Rios, who's been a starter for them for years now in terms of that center midfield role. He plays currently in the second division in Spain, and then last year he played in Hull City. It's in the Championship, second division of England, and then before that he actually won the Bundesliga with that Xabi Alonso team in Bayer Leverkusen, and he played 8 or 10 games I think with them. So it's interesting to see. It's obviously this kid has talent. I think he has a really good desire. He gets into the tackle. He passes it fairly decently. He's still young. He's 22. I think there's a lot of he might get a move this summer. I think he's a good player. His shooting needs a little bit of work. He took a lot of wild shots that were way over the bar. I think he needs to either get a little bit more composure or work on his technique. But overall, he was very good. I can see why he's starting over Richard Rios, but very good overall. That rounds it up for today. These games are really, really good, and I'm excited to see the next set of games. So I'll see you guys.